Hello, and welcome to The Relevance of Now with William Linville. My name is Michael Connell. I'm hosting today, and I'm here with William. Hey, William.
Hey, Michael, how's it going, buddy?
Fantastic, wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing very well, having a lot of fun and a lot of humor, laughter, and playtime.
Great. Well, this topic is to assist everyone to do more of that. And we're talking about the importance of knowing the difference or the distinctions of feeling versus experiencing emotions. When it comes to feelings, let's start off with feeling and our true natural state. How would you describe feeling? While we're in a body, in a planet like we are, and we're a facet of creator consciousness, share with us the distinctions of feeling, just feeling.
Yeah, so right now, it's like walking into a room or walking into a situation with no prerequisites, no subpsyche memories to put anything into a box. Before you're taught to act, react, before you're taught emotion, you're taught all this other hoopla. And just walking into any situation with your eyes closed for a moment, connected with you as you. Even just taking a breath, closing your eyes, just even feeling that consciousness, that light, that pure essence and presence just running through your body from your crown chakra vortex all the way through the bottom of the feet and through the palms of the hands, up and down the torso, your central column. Right here, you can feel the cells vibrating faster and faster. You can feel your body open, receptive, because it hasn't been taught not to be. We're right here, right now. You really just are. Now, let's open our eyes within that situation, but really pay attention to just being that cool, collected calmness, that harmoniousness. Many call it peace. I call it isness. Isness means, if I were to translate, it would be you as creator overseeing in the midst of its own creation. Now, as we take a breath, we're looking around. We're not putting anyone anywhere into any boxes, no judgment, just observation. And still connected with yourself. Once again, you have no reason to pull back, no reason to project. There's no danger, no threat. And this is what you feel like. And I do mean very clearly feel like, because right now you're in your heart. Right now you're in a full, wide awake, fully alert, connected state. Right now you're open, you're animated, you're amplified right here, right now. Just taking a breath. Now, just allowing yourself to be you as you, within yourself, through yourself, for yourself, right here, right now, cleared and purified. And right now, where you can really, really feel, experience more and more of you as you, for you, within you, while you're in the state of your total, complete, wide awake, fully alert, wide openness. This is what you feel like. This is truly a feeling and a presence. It's not mental based. It's not analytically based. It's not fight or flight based. It's you.
And can you describe what being this consciousness, this presence, this open state of feeling, and now we're at a coffee shop, or now we're at work and we're interacting with others. Can you describe how best, when we're interacting with others, to be in this state, and what the experience is like?
Yeah. So let's go to your place of work or a coffee shop. Let's wake up in the morning, welcome in the day and all the gifts the day has to offer. And now let's put on your costumes, get ready for the day. Let's take off and go to work or to a coffee shop. But right now, let's really just feel you. We're not in a rush. We're not joining the mass collective rush, do, run. Let's take a breath, step back. Okay. We all have our to-dos to do. So let's take it one step at a time. But first and foremost, let's connect with you, feel you. Now, here's me getting in the shower. Can I feel the water on my body? Here's me shaving the face, brushing the teeth. Can I feel the sensations? Here's me combing the hair and getting dressed. Great. Can I feel the frequencies, or can I feel the weight of the costumes? Here's me going into the office or to a coffee shop, sitting at my desk or at a table, taking a breath. I'm still me. Now, let's look around, but this time, let's look around. Let's observe the barista. Let's observe the other ones in the coffee shop. Let's observe your workers, your co-workers. Let's observe whatever's on our to-do list. Let's just take a breath. Let's step back from it all for a moment. Let's be aware of everyone, everything going on around you. But let's also be aware that it's not about you. Let's be aware it has nothing to do with you.
Right. So if you experience a coworker experiencing a lot of emotion, what I hear you saying is we're watching it, and we're still sitting in our presence. Yes, we can feel that they're and see that they're experiencing emotion.
Yeah.
And yet we don't have to take any of it on.
No, we can, if you so choose, you can, or if you feel so drawn to, you go over and say, you know, I see you're having a tough time. Is there something I can do to make it easier for you?
Right.
Or there's something I can do to lighten the load.
Yeah. So you've shared that feelings are not products of the minds, emotions are.
Yeah. So like that person having a tough time, to put it in perspective, here we are. We're wide awake, fully alert. We're feeling whatever we're feeling. And once again, we're very clear that their upset has nothing to do with you. They can project it towards you. They can try to take their issues out on you. But right now, we're free because we know it has nothing to do with us. Now, we now rise to a different state where, okay, this is where the emotions come from. It comes from putting things in boxes. It comes from taking things in, taking things on to be about you. Like this dear one, they could be running through feeling or experiencing that they're being threatened, but their intellect, their egos being threatened, and they're seeing it as a challenge. They're trying to power through, blah, blah, blah. And then they'll project on others because it's not about you personally. It's because they're wanting your energy and their energy. Because if they can have both energies, then they can somehow, some way, perceivably plow right through and accomplish. Now, that's your basic societal energy game. And then from there, we ask, hey, is there any way I can assist, lighten up the load, make it easier for you? And they're either going to be receptive or they're not. But it's still where we're watching them run in circles, being fearful and threatened.
Right. Well, let's dive deeper into emotions. And so we just said that emotions are a product of the mind.
Yeah.
And there can be a lot of core reasons why people have emotions. And what is an emotion?
An emotion is free flowing energy that then is given a judgment. And then this judgment is like a rock in a river until eventually the river becomes dammed from one judgment lead to another judgment, another judgment, another judgment. The emotion is just all the energy that's getting blocked up in that river by each and every judgment. And that energy behind it that's getting blocked up is called emotion.
Right.
And that's where you eventually, literally, factually, when I look at it, it's like rocks in a river, but it's also like blockages in your arteries. Same thing. And then eventually that artery is going to be clogged and it'll go to the next artery, until eventually you have cardiac arrest or whatever. It's different for everyone. Physical symptomology, it's whatever's going to best get your attention. Even diabetes. I mean, it's interesting, when you really look at that, is it really about blood sugar or insulin? Or could it also be, I mean, those are symptomologies. I don't want to pretend like they're not, but could it also be to bring you back into the present moment so you can connect with your present, stepping out of whatever's going on around you, breaking energy and coming back into the moment?
And much of my life, I was so used to thinking feelings and emotions, or like I would say I'm feeling angry, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling this, that, or the other thing. But what I'm hearing you saying is emotions are products of the mind, but feelings are. So is it appropriate to say I'm feeling an emotion?
No, it's more appropriate to say that you're experiencing an emotion. Like when I look into that sadness and all this other stuff, it's one of those moments when you're experiencing that. Did you ask yourself, how should things be? How should my life be? Where should I be in my life? What should my life look like? Should it look like XYZ, ABC? Because those are things where there's a lot of judgment around, you know, woulda, coulda, shoulda. There's a lot of judgment around what you're supposed to be, how you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be. But the part I run into that I find most peculiar is that if you ask your mother, you're going to get one answer. You ask your father, you get another answer. You ask someone down at the barista at the bistro, you're going to at the coffee shop, you can get another answer. If you ask your coworker, you're going to get another answer, because we have all these quadrillions of dear ones that have a different idea of who or what you should be. And all it really comes up to in as is who you should be to fit into their comfort zone. Not about you, once again.
Right.
And you had so much potential, blah, blah, well, it's easy to project that onto another. But the ones that project that, they're not the ones that have actually even barely scratched the surface of their own potential. And they're projecting onto you because, once again, they're trying to find if they can make you less, they get more energy.
Right. Well, I'm noticing when you said I'm experiencing an emotion, I'm experiencing sadness, let's say, how it seems like it's outside of me, as opposed to a feeling, which is a connectedness to my natural state or true state. And yeah, just it seems very powerful to see an emotion that way, that it's just an energy that I'm experiencing.
Okay. So for a minute, you're experiencing an emotion of sadness. So you look at everything going on around outside of you. Now, what outside of you are you perceiving to be sad?
Right. Yeah.
And before you answer, I want you to take in this understanding within yourself. There's a lot of supposed tos. So you go to a funeral and there's Billy Bob up there in the casket, and he went goat roping, and this time the goats won. And there's this bride in the front row wearing all black, flailing on the ground, sobbing on and on. Everyone else in the audience, he was so young, although he was 93. But from here, everyone's crying and showing emotion. Everyone is, what are we going to do? What's life going to be like? Blah, 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 blah. And so what would be the appropriate, based in emotion, experience, reaction? It's tears.
Right. Well, your body, you can be experiencing those emotions because of the way you've perceived things to be.
Which is, once again, based in judgment.
Right.
Observational judgment. And
right. And so at any one point, any of us could be in that consciousness. And because of what we've learned.
Mm-hmm.
And so in that state, what's the important thing for us? Once we've experienced the sadness. Let's say we were really sad, and now we're home alone.
Mm-hmm.
So what now?
You take a breath. Number one, in the breath, It's not about just oxygen to your brain and everything else. It's a lot more beyond that. When you take a focused breath, you're actually right here, right now. Now, I would have you ask yourself, break energy with everyone and everything else. And now asking yourself, sit down at the table, on the sofa, a chair, whatever. Ask yourself, self, how do I literally feel about their passing, or about the state of the world, or about the mall shooting, or buses driving off the road, or whatever? Not about how we're supposed to feel, not how we're supposed to experience it, not how we're supposed to create a rise and burn them out of town, another DUI, whatever. Skipping all the mass collective hoorah for a minute, just taking a breath. Decompressing. And really asking ourselves, we saw all the emotions playing out around. Now, how do you, on very much you personally, how do you feel
Right.
about the situation? And I made comedy of it, but there's a lot of truth in this statement or this question. Don't you think it's a little bit backwards? Because wouldn't you kind of think it would make more sense analytically to celebrate when people leave the planet and cry when they arrive? With the understanding of what they came onto the planet, they look like ET on steroids, the little shriveled up little thing, they come onto the planet. You know what they're about to embark on. But yet when they're leaving the planet, it's like, whew, Johnny got out of here. Oh, good, you go, boy. And he got off pretty easy this time. The goats took him out, but that's Billy Bob. Now, from here, where we take a breath, it's like, well, he's making a full transition. Wow, lucky him. Okay. So it's not to make life seem derogatory, because of course it's not. It's what you put into it, how much heart, how much love did you emanate that makes it like the most amazing amusement park ever, with a lot of humor, a lot of playfulness, a lot of passion, compassion, but eons of clarity and understanding. And it's a wonderful, wonderful puzzle of why do dear ones do what they do when they do it?
Well, and this brings us back to the importance of knowing, and your assistance of just knowing that we are a facet of creator consciousness. So when we're asking ourselves, we could have experienced a lot of sadness, let's say at a funeral, and now that we're home alone, because that was stored in the body based on a certain perception. And now that we're home alone, and we can take a deep breath and tune into ourselves to feel ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And really look at what's really going on with ourselves. It's a question of, well, as creator, who do I want to be right now?
Yeah. And it's kind of interesting to make the discernment between how do I feel versus what am I supposed to or should be experiencing right now? Like when I use the funeral situation, it could be a wedding, it could be a funeral, but it can be childbirth, it could be whatever, going to work in the morning. And I want you, when you're in the shower or you wake up, ask yourself, because there's a fine line here. When I say the discernment part, what is you starting to mimic the mass collective and how they're reacting to Monday, or how do you feel about a Monday? You personally, not because you'll be really amazed at how much you're mimicking instead of how you really feel.
Well, this topic, I feel, to me, is life changing.
Yeah, big time.
And really the distinction of that a feeling is our feeling, our presence, our true self, and if we're experiencing emotion, we're not feeling emotions, even though we might use those words we may have used those words in that way, that really we're experiencing a conglomerate of energy that's stored in the body because we've declared it so.
Exactly.
And that is not a feeling.
No. That's an experience.
Right. That keep re-experiencing until we
Yeah.
choose not to.
Exactly.
And that's when you call a misperception.
Yeah.
You perceive something in a certain way and it might be to make you feel better or feel safe or feel powerful or whatever the ego may have declared guilty. And so that misperception is what, when we can see that outside of us and know the possibility over here with our true self and our true connectedness to our higher selves, our creator consciousness, we can really make the distinctions and dissolve those misperceptions.
Absolutely and completely.
Well, thank you, William, for that clarity. That's fantastic. Thank you all for joining us. This is The Relevance of Now with William Linville. Namaste.
Namaste.